is Power Platform. Now this Power Platform is a no-code solution. What do you mean by no-code solution, right? When we're saying no code, does that mean I don't have to write any code? Answer is no. It is a low-code solution. There is slash, okay, oblique. Power Platform is low code or no code. When we are saying no code, it doesn't mean it is no coding is required. There will be coding. Some inbuilt function will be there. But you don't have to write extensive codes like you're writing in .NET, Java, C language, C Sharp, or any other. Okay, so you don't have to write code in that way. Let me see some. So we don't have to write code in that extensively here. Okay, I can just use inbuilt functions. I can use the logics, and then I can build my solution. Okay, that's why it is called as low code solution. Now what is the advantage of the low code solution? Low code solution is easy to maintain. Okay, compared to if you have a, let's say you have an application where there's a 20,000 or 50,000 lines of code is there, right? And if someone asks you to debug, it's very hectic, right? You have to go try to find out what logic has been written and everything. But in low code solution, you have all the functions, all the logics are written. You just have to understand that, and then you can make changes. You can build application within a month, within a day. Depends upon what kind of application it is. If it's a simple application, let's say leave application, I can build within an hour. 1 hour I can build that application. If it's something, let's say appraisal form, it may take some time because there will be some logic. So it will take 15 days, 1 hour, 2 hour, that varies. Okay, but you can build this solution in the low code faster than any other technology. Okay, that's why it is called as a Power Platform low code solution. Now, when we are saying Power Platform, what are the components of this? Now, in Power Platform, we have Power Apps. Again, this Power App is divided into three different uh, uh, components. Okay, first one is Canvas app, most extensively used. If you say someone who is working on Power Platform, Power Apps, 90% they are working on the Canvas app. Then we have the model driven app, which is if you have used Dynamic 365, you can understand this model driven app is nothing but part of it. Okay, if again if you say Dynamic 365, there are 7 flavors of it, right? We have marketing, we have sales, different are there. If you want to create a custom one, then you will use model driven app. Now question will be, what is the difference between Canvas and model driven? So when we are saying Canvas app is where you can do anything from scratch. You can build the form, you can change the UI and everything. Whereas in model driven, you have the limitations. You cannot do too extensively coding on the UI front. You will create a table in the data hours. Yeah, you will create a table in data hours. And once your table is created, based on that forms, views, everything will get created by its own. You can still modify or add new form or new uh, table, or sorry, new forms, new views and everything, but that you cannot do much on the front end side. You cannot add much many things that you can do in the canvas. Okay, then the next one is Power Automate. Again, oh sorry, I missed the Power Pages. Again, there is a Power Pages. The Power Pages is nothing but where you can build a website. Okay, let's say those who are working on the SharePoint, they have worked on SharePoint. So in SharePoint, you have internal SharePoint site that you shared within the organization, and then you have external SharePoint site, like customer facing SharePoint site, where your external customers come and they contribute, or they you post the document or anything that you are using for, right? That same thing you can do using Power Pages. Now, if let's say you have created a Power App and that needs to be shared with the external users, so you using this, you can integrate that on the Power Pages. You can build your website, and then the external customer will come and interact with the that particular Power App, whether it's a Canvas or model driven. Okay. Now, when we'll go into the training, we'll cover all these three components. Okay, we'll cover Canvas app complete detail from beginner to the expert. We'll cover model driven from beginner to expert. We'll cover Power Pages from beginner to expert. Okay, so don't think like we'll miss anything. We'll cover each and everything that comes under the Power Apps. Okay, now the second component is Power Automate. Now in Power Automate we have two component. One is Power Automate Cloud, and second one is Power Automate Desktop. So in our training, we are going to cover Power Automate Cloud. We are not going to cover desktop because Power Automate Desktop is complete separate entity. Those who are coming from RPA background, those who are working on desktop kind of automation, RPA automation, that they are transitioning to Power Automate, for them the Power Automate desktop is required if you are some RPA kind of developer. But if you are going for the Power Platform technology, you don't require Power Automate desktop. With the Power Automate cloud, you can switch the job into Power Platform. Okay, but if someone has some organization, they have specific requirement of Power Automate desktop, then you don't need Power Apps, Power BI. They only need Power Automate desktop. Okay, for Power Automate desktop, there is a separate training going on within EmergenTeck, so you can contact Anshuman for Power Automate desktop training, separate one. In this training session in Power Platform, will cover Power Automate cloud from beginner level to the expert level. Okay, then we have Power BI also, which is a part of Power Platform. So in Power BI also will cover each and everything, including M code, DAX, everything. And we have already Power BI experts here, so they can understand. So again, let me explain what is the job role in Power Platform. When you will hired as a Power Platform developer, the main expectation from you that you will work on the Power Apps and Power Automate. There is very few organization that will require you to work on Power BI. Like in current project I'm working as a Power Platform developer. I'm only handling the Power Apps part and Power Automate, where I'm building Canvas app, model driven app. I'm automating sending email, creating reports over the Excel, or sending report over the email. All that part I'm doing the Power Automate. Now, where they need extensive Power BI reporting, there is a separate team that handles a Power BI, knowledge of Power BI. So that in case if there is no Power BI developer in your team, you can handle that. Clear with this, the job